What's that one product that is completely worth your money? A good frying pan, lasts for years and the quality of food I can cook with it is so much better. Also much easier to clean. My cast iron frying pan was my great-grandmother's. She got it in 1917 when she got married. Aw man, that means you have a proper smooth surface cast iron pan. My cast iron seasoning has gotten amazing, but it's still a modern coarse pan under all that. I'd love one of the old smooth surface pans. They got pre-war Griswolds on eBay for like $200. Still cheaper than some new enameled cast iron. A cab ride or rideshare when you're drunk. As a homeowner, I can't say it enough. A wet-tree vacuum. New homeowner here, mind selling me on it? You can vacuum anything with it, car interior, garage floor, liquid spill, pretty much anything that's on the ground will go into it. Then you just take the top off and pour the contents into trash bag, box or whatever you want. It's a more rugged vacuum than indoor household type. Word of advice, don't clean out fireplace ashes with a wet-tree vac. It's too fine. They sell fireplace wet-dry vacs made of metal with filters though. What was figuring that out like? Not up, but I did that once and it was a mess. Then I figured out the hose was long enough I could put the canister outside the door and blow ash into the backyard. Then someone stole my shop vac and the adventure was over. Like while you were using it. That would be exciting, but no. It was in the garage when some tweakers came prowling. After seeing how many people keep shit stored in 10-year-old random cardboard boxes in their garage or laundry room, I'm gonna say storage tubs. They are hardly expensive, uniform in size, stack well, and aren't going to deteriorate if they get a bit wet. Also super handy if you move often. My mom got me a bunch when I started college, and I am constantly grateful she did. Counting moving in and out of storage, I have moved all my shit 12 times in the past 6 years. Multiply 12 by a ton of cardboard boxes, and I've saved a ton of money and effort. Wow, it's time consuming buying, constructing, collapsing, recycling cardboard boxes. Not only that, but my school had a flash flood and my friend's apartment downstairs got flooded. Only the students with their stuff in plastic storage containers were safe, all the cardboard boxes were done for. A good mattress and pillow. A crock pot and a rice cooker. They were both around $35 and I use them a few times a week. A crock pot is my best cooking buddy. It's literally all I use to make dinners. An additional benefit is that I usually have leftovers too. Oh, that's a given using these bad boys. Smacks hood. No smacks roof. No smacks lid. This bad boy can hold so much duck and soup. A quality chef knife. Rechargeable batteries for Xbox controllers. I couldn't even begin to estimate how much I've saved over the years. It is so convenient and they quickly pay for themselves. The only problem is that if you cycle them through too many times they can start to go and your controller can die with no warning because the controller gets confused on what the actual low battery value is supposed to be. Another good one of these for tech is buying your own modem router. Your stuff will typically be better than Comcast's and it pays for itself in like a year. Well-made bra. Oh hell yes. Most women wear the wrong size. In most cases, they need to go down in the band size, number, and go up in cup size. The letter, a D cup actually isn't as big as people think it is. Ladies, don't be afraid of what the size on the tag is. Focus on how the bra makes you feel. A well-fitting bra actually can make you look like you lost weight. And a well-fitting bra shouldn't hurt or be uncomfortable. Source, been sewing all my life and used to be a bra fitter. Edit, check this chart out, it explains sizes very well. When I had been wearing a 36D but used the bra calculator on Rabbit that fits and I was supposed to be in a 36 grams, I was like lol, I didn't even know they made bras that size. I wore a 36D for nearly 20 years, thanks Versus, and then found out I'm a 30F. Turns out, Versus doesn't go past D, so they find a way to stick you in the cup sizes they do have, even if that way makes the bra essentially pointless. Those guys are always trying to convince my fiancé what her bra size is and it's insane. She followed their advice once and ended up looking like a Renaissance fair bar wench. We didn't buy that, one cries in kilt. She knows what she likes and tells them so now. 3 good pairs of scissors. One for clothes, one for paper and one for the kitchen. This saves so much time and aggravation. And label the fabric ones so people don't use them to cut anything else. The assholes. Yes. Or hide them like my mom did when we were kids. My mom sewed clothes for us when we were growing up, and she always hid her sewing scissors so we did not use them to make our paper book covers or cut out magazine articles about Davy Jones. My mom did the same thing. You were in middle name trouble if you borrowed them. Don't use my sewing scissors on paper. You have paper scissors to use on paper. Heard that a few times. A good and comfortable chair to your desk. Especially when you plan to sit there a lot for studying or if your John requires you to sit. It will spare you a lot of back pain. Edit: John sadly no longer wants me to sit, I exchange him for job. I will never require you to sit. That's because you're not in charge here. Good pair of shoes. I would say quality clothing in general is worth it. I used to buy the cheapest clothing I could get, e.g. t-shirts, pants, shoes, underwear, and they predictably wore out quickly, and then I'd be left with shitty, worn down clothing. Now that I'm older, I discovered that paying extra is definitely worth it for your clothing. I've had underwear, shorts, pants that last for years, and remain in excellent shape, rather than a few pathetic months. Edit: let me just say that you don't have to spend your life savings on clothing, as some have pointed out that they have bought cheap clothing that has lasted for years. This is entirely possible. There are so many brands and clothing out there that it's entirely possible that that cheap discount store or wherever else has great clothing for cheap. It's just that in my own personal experience, paying a bit more is usually worth it. If you have someplace where you can buy cheap and durable clothing that you love, then by all means keep going with it. I learned in my 30s that it is physically possible for socks to be made of sufficient quality that they don't get holes. Even after years of wear and washings. Before, I always believed it was an inevitable fact of life. All those Hanes and Fruit of the Loom socks are complete garbage. Even when the sole is gray and reinforced. Never again. Buy yourself some darn tough socks. They are pretty pricey, but they are incredibly comfortable and well built. The best part is when they do eventually get holes, Darn Tough will replace them for free. Totally not a shill here, I just love good socks. Beware, for fellow Australians reading this, thinking I've bought Darn Tough socks from Kmart or Big W before, they're okay but not that great. The brand Darn Tough we have is not the same as the Darn Tough brand that Reddit talks about all the time. Just coincidentally a different sock brand with the same name. The right mattress can completely change your life. Everything in life can be affected by your sleep quality, I'd say start there. Birth control. Myself is all the birth control I need. Silver Edit, Happy Singles Awareness Day everyone. Socks. Despite the expense and the inconvenience of obtaining them, there is nothing that compares to the feeling of wearing warm, dry socks. I worked 50% outside and 50% inside for years in the northeast of the US. Wintertime was always a challenge to keep my feet warm and dry. Too thick of a sock and my feet would sweat while inside, then freeze when I would go back outside. When I met my wife, she bought me a pair of $25 smart wool socks and I scoffed at her like she was crazy for spending that much on a single pair of socks. It only took one day of wearing them at work to make me understand that they were worth every penny. When my now wife and I first started dating, she thought I was nuts because I was stoked I found Darn Tough socks on sale for like $12 a pair. I work construction and my feet are always hot and sweaty. 6 years later I'm still wearing those socks in my rotation edit. This was like 5 years ago, and it might not have been exactly $12. If I remember correctly, it was a woot sale. So far all the comments I'm seeing are regarding pooping, eating and sleeping. It really does just come back to basics, doesn't it? This was drilled into me by the camp director when I worked at a summer camp as a kid. Before anyone can notice how well you teach canoeing, they have to have a good place to eat, a good place to sleep, and a good place to go to the bathroom. Running out of toilet paper was an easy way to squander a lot of goodwill built up elsewhere.